12 p.m. from Fishbowl Studios. Log on to hear sports talk from basketball to football and hear your feedback on the biggest sports news you want to talk about from around the world. So be sure to log on each week Tuesdays at 12 p.m. to catch the Jamie Jimmy Show. Hope to see you soon
on Fishbowl Radio Network.
Jump in.
Hey, welcome guys. Welcome to the Jamie Jimmy Show right here on Fishbowl Radio. My name is Jamie. Let's get before we're not going to do any more introductions, okay? I'm mad, okay? Did anybody? I know everybody in America watched the Sunday night game, right? Tampa Bay 19, Dallas 3. Okay, let's start the first thing. Dak Prescott. He didn't play well. Accuracy was off. It seemed like he had other things going on in his mind. Dak was a no-show that game. And I'm not going to completely blame him for this, but he's part of the problem. Okay? Like 14 for 29 for 134 yards and an interception on Sunday night, Dak. You just embarrassed yourself throughout the whole world. And then on top of that, you got hurt. I'm not blaming for you for that injury, but it just happens. Like, what are we going to do without you? Now, do we get Cooper Rush? Do we Will Greer? Or do we sign another quarterback? Do we get Jimmy? I got 5 quarterbacks. I want to name them in the next few minutes. But we got to do something, guys. And I know Jerry got on the radio this morning saying some stupid crap, saying, oh, well, he might be back in 4 games. Well, in 4 games, you could be what? 0-5. Or let's say maybe let's be nice. Let's go 1-4. Okay? Or something like that. You're saying that this man has surgery on Sunday night, Monday morning, for him to come back after 4 games. Like, what is wrong with you guys? I want to talk to the doctor there and say, hey, doc, why is these guys coming back so early? Like if Doc tore an Achilles or ACL, which thank God he did not, like Jerry would say, okay, well, he can come back this season. Like, Jerry, you just ripped your knee apart. You just basically tore your ankle. And you say, okay, we're going to come back in 4 to 5 games. On what? You going to play in the cast? Like, I just don't get it. Like most teams in the NFL, right, they know how to diagnose their players. And they know the timeline. The Cowboys obviously don't, because it's unrealistic expectations. Oh yeah, we broke our ankle. We expect to come back this season. Well, how? Like, if we're 1-14, there's no need for you to come back. Just wait another season. I don't understand. I've been a fan for 22 years. I've seen quarterbacks play inconsistent, and quarterbacks have been hurt. Good quarterbacks. 2 good quarterbacks in the last, 22 years. I'm not even counting Troy Aikman. I'm counting Tony Romo and Dak Prescott. I don't care about those bum quarterbacks. They're just, oh yeah, they're just filling a position that we need. Romo was good. He wasn't great. He was good. Dak is good. He's not great. Okay? So we got to get to the notion of, okay, well, hey, it is what it is. Dak's going to be out for an amount of time. They say 6 to 8 weeks, but Jerry's saying 4 games. I don't know where. Jerry's no doctor, guys. Let's stop shitting ourselves to say, well, Jerry's going to diagnose our players. First of all, Jerry has not been in no training room ever. He just says a bunch of bullcrap out of his mouth, and then makes us believe that it's true. It is not. Like, Jerry, can you stay away? Can you not talk to reporters after the game? These reporters went to Jerry after the game instead of going to the coach. Mike McCarthy's supposed to be answering those questions, not Jerry. Like, why? But then again, that's how the Cowboys are built. My gosh, like I never seen any team done this. Like, you ask the players a question about, a coach a question about injuries, they'll know. Because trainers will go out there and tell them, hey, this person's going to be out for 3 or 4 games. They got a sprained ankle. Okay, they tell the coach first. We don't see no owner or GM or the GM's son say some bullshit like Jerry has said and Steven has said. This is why the Cowboys will always finish last. Always. But enough about Dak Prescott. We'll get back to him in a second. Number 2 is Zeke. Okay, Kellen Moore, this game's on you. We had 3 points on offense. No, we don't have any personnel on this team. None. I mean, our only receiver that we have is C.D. Lamb. You can throw in Noah Brown in the mix. I don't even know these jokers. Dennis Houston, Simi Fayoko. Well, I know Simi Fayoko, we drafted him last year. But Dennis Houston, I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect the guys that made the team and all that stuff, but we don't know these guys. Like, they will not make a difference on any football team. You need, like I said in the offseason, you need a number 1. I also need a number 2. We don't have that. Michael Gallup, sadly enough, is working his way back. We don't want him to rush the process. You had opportunities to go get Odell. Odell's been preaching for a job out there. He still can get the job done. It's unfortunate that he got hurt in the Super Bowl, but you have to be proactive. Teams that want to win are proactive. Like, for example, when we lost Tyron, we thought, okay, Tyler Smith can slide in. We go out there and sign to 40-year-old Jason Peters. No disrespect to him. Okay, we wait till the last minute to bring him a workout and sign him because of public pressure. If you want to win a championship, you have to be proactive right away. Bring in, okay, like kickers. When kickers miss 3 or 4 field goals in a row, there's a line of kickers coming in the next day to take that person's job, and they'll sign them on the spot. Not this team. This team waits to the last minute and public pressure to sign players. Odell's out there. Go get him. He's reliable. None of these jokers that, okay, I'm just going to fill a spot. And also, I want to give a shout out to Jalen Torres. And I'm sorry, man. You are a rookie. You should have been on that field Sunday night, man. I don't understand how you can be inactive. A healthy scratch. I can't imagine being a rookie drafted in the 3rd round, trying to play your first game in the NFL, and yet you can't even step on the field. They tell you, okay, you can't play today. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. But save that for another day. The running back, Zeke Elliott. For now, we have to run the ball. Zeke was getting 5 yards a carry. We went away from that because we were down by. We weren't even down by much. I mean, they scored 1 touchdown, but other than that, our defense is pretty good. And you see the Zeke got a lot of bursts in him. He's found his game. We need to feed him the ball. My running back does not get 10 carries on Sunday night, especially when the defense is playing the pass, which they did majority of the game. You got to run the ball. You got to mix that up. You can't mix up with the inexcusable play calling. You can't mix that up with that crap. You have to run the ball until they get tired. So they call a timeout and say, you know what, we need a timeout, we need to adjust. Like, you got 2 productive running backs out there. Use them. Essentially, Zeke Elliott. He looks good. But yet, you got away from it because you were down by double digits. Not even double digits. You were in the game. Number 3, the defense. At this point, the defense is going to save us, guys. I mean, Michael Parsons had 2 sacks. Don Wilson had the interception. We were all over Brady all night long. I expect the defense to save us. I mean, the reason why I believe we might find. Michael Irvin said this yesterday. We just got to find 4 wins. I looked at the schedule. Honestly, I can only find about a couple. Till Dak comes back, I mean, I can find a couple. I can't find 4 wins on this football team. I mean, if we give up 19 points again, but then again, those were field goals. So if we just have the team, if we just play great defense all game long, then I mean we will have a chance. But I mean I can only find 2 wins when in the next the next 8 games, and that's not good enough for Dak to come save this team. It depends on what other people do, like the Eagles, the Giants, and the Commanders. It just depends. And till that time happens, the defense is going to continue to save us. But which I plan on, which that's the plan for moving forward. Number 4, the penalties. We got to fix them, man. And Mike McCartney can't fix those penalties. It's up to the players to be disciplined enough to fix themselves on the penalties. Let's call out Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele, what are you doing out there? What are you doing out there? You had 4 penalties alone on offense. Ridiculous penalties to the point where we were driving and then there's a flag. It's on you, 78. You got to be disciplined. This team's got to be disciplined enough to say we cannot be the most penalized team in the league. We got to cut our penalties down in half. It cost us a playoff game and cost us this game. Part of it. But we got to be more disciplined than that, guys. We have to. Okay. Now, my final take is Tom Brady didn't play his best. I was expecting to see Tom Brady, air the ball out. I was expecting him have like 2 or 3 touchdowns throwing. He didn't play his best. But here's what my final take is going to be. My final take moving forward, I got 5 quarterbacks that I want you to name. I'm going to name that could help this football team. Cam Newton, Will Grier, Nick Foles, Jimmy G, and Mason Rudolph. Notice those names. The first name, Cam Newton, pops out of your mind because he's not had a job since Carolina last year. And do I think this man still wants to play football? No, because he's not focused enough to do this, to play football again. He's just not. He's all about himself. Guys, I just named all these quarterbacks. No quarterback on this team, whether it's Cooper Rush or Will Grier, we got to play with what we have. If we bring one off the street like a Cam Newton or from other teams like a Jimmy G, Nick Foles, or Mason Rudolph, it's not going to help us because they got to learn the playbook during the week. And we don't have time during the week for them to go through the playbook unless you're going to tell them, hey, can you stay up 24 hours to learn the playbook? We're not going to convince a quarterback to do that. Okay? No quarterback will help this team win games. Whether Dak's out for the whole season or he's out for 6 to 8 weeks or 4 games, no quarterback's going to help this team do that. So with that being said, I don't like the notion of people saying, everyone's saying, well, we need a quarterback right now. We don't. We got to play with what we have. We have Cooper Rush and Will Grier on this team. Let's play with what we have. And any one of those guys get hurt, then that's when you bring a quarterback in to back him up. That's the only time you bring a quarterback in. Other than that, we got to play with what we have. We hope that Cooper Rush does his job to get wins. We hope that he's able to be creative on offense, be able to call his plays. He's been in this offense before. He's played. He started last year against Minnesota. I think he could have got one more start, but he won that game. Let's not forget, Cooper Rush is no scrub. He's a decent player, but he's not no Dak Prescott. So, like I said, for those that say out there, and your friends will say it out there too, we need a quarterback off the street. No. Well, we don't need a quarterback off the street. We need a quarterback that's been in the system. We need a quarterback that's been in this building all off season, learns plays, and Cooper Rush has done that. Will Greer has done that. I let Jerry and Mike McCartney make those decisions. But then again, both those guys make poor decisions, so you know, it is what it is. So moving forward, right? That we just gotta live in the notion that Dak's gonna be out. I mean, he ain't gonna come back in 4 games. He definitely ain't gonna come back in 6 to 8. Well, he could come back in 8 weeks, but we gotta be in position to win games. We got to be there. Otherwise, if we're not, Dak take the whole season off. It's over. Okay. We gotta be offensively. We have to be better. We gotta stop running flea flickers on the second to third possessions. What the hell is that? Kellen Moore, I'm blaming you, sir, because you cannot. Last year you got jobs everywhere. Everyone loved you. I doubt you get a job this year. And at some point, if we're averaging 3 points a game, with all those weapons on offense, we got to take their play calling duties and give it to Mike McCartney, somebody in that organization that has a little bit of sense. I mean, we can't play football like this. We can't continue to embarrass ourselves anymore. I mean, everybody's banking on us to win the division. They bank on us and the Eagles every single year. They don't bank on those Giants. They don't bank on the Commanders, even though those teams won. You know, we have to make winnable plays. Throwing it back, doing all this other stuff, that's good, that's decent and all, but that will not win games. You gotta call a perfect game, like in baseball. A pitcher will do 9 innings, right? And no hits, no runs. That's what you call a perfect game. But Kellen Moore, you cannot call. This is your fault. You have to call a perfect game. Like this ain't college. You're not holding signs up to call plays out. You're going through the playbook. Make adjustments. Open the office for Cooper Rush. Open the office for Will Greer. But until then, this is where it's going to be. We got Cincinnati next. But before I go to my next thing, I want Gabe's thoughts. So, Gabe, what do you think about this team?
I think we're in a very vulnerable position right now. Can only go up from here, hopefully, but at the same time, I do think we're in a very vulnerable position. Cooper Rush, I don't trust.
Okay.
Yes, he did have a good game against Minnesota, but most of that was because we were reliant on the run. Okay. Had very little to do with his throwing ability. And we also had better receivers at that time. We don't have a lot right now, to be honest.
Okay.
Noah Brown is the best receiver we got.
Okay. I would agree with that.
I like CD. He's great, but he's not a number one, and he's playing out of position. To be real,
Yeah.
so he would be an excellent number two receiver. But as a number one receiver, he doesn't get enough separation. He doesn't do anything astronomically well to make him a number one receiver. He's undersized to be a number one. And so I think Noah Brown is the best, is the more complete receiver. But at the same time, who is Noah Brown? You know what I'm saying? Like,
He's got to make a name for himself. He's got to be able to create that separation. He's got to be able to, do the route running of Amari has. Amari was a great route runner last year, and that's why Dak was able to communicate with us and get the ball out to him because Amari knew where to go.
he knew how to create space.
Exactly.
He knew how to get open. He was a pro at that. One of the best route runners ever.
Yeah.
So when you lose a player of that caliber, and by choice, if we're being real,
Yeah.
when you choose to let that player go, now you got to deal with the repercussions of that. And
That's true.
The repercussions is having CD be our number one receiver, who I don't know why they have so much faith in him. And I was never really high on CD. I was higher on Justin Jefferson than I was CD. And you see the difference. And we could have had Justin Jefferson instead of CD. So that's, I think, just overall, the Cowboys don't make winning decisions.
Yeah.
And I've been a fan a long time, just like yourself. I've been a fan 18 years. So I've seen every single era of the 2000s with this team. And there's been nothing that tells me that they really desire to win. And I think it's because of Jerry's control.
Yeah.
He's put too much in the brand, but not in the actual personnel. And if you're going to be a GM as well, he's an amazing owner. The owner title, he owns that. No pun intended. He's one of the greatest owners ever, if not the greatest. But at the same time, when you add that GM title, that's where he messes up because he's not a GM.
Yeah.
He makes emotional decisions instead of winning decisions.
Right.
And so for me, that's a problem as a fan. Like, I've seen the pattern over and 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 over again.
It's too much of a pattern. It's too much of that going on, and at some point, Jerry has to tell himself, "Hey, I got to step back from this team."
He's not gonna do that.
Yeah, he's not going to do that. But I mean, I don't know who's going to convince him to do that. Maybe when he gets a little bit older, like he's old now, but maybe older, but he can't do a day-to-day operation, then that's when he can step back a little bit. I mean, he won't be doing so many interviews. He won't be, so invested in his team. He can be on the owner side, those things.
That would be beautiful, but we've known Jerry long enough to know
Yes.
exactly who he is and who he's going to be till he's no longer here. He's going to be doing interviews and standing in front of the media and controlling his coaches until the day that he can literally no longer do it. So
And that day is that day. We can't wait for that day, but that day is not going to happen anytime soon.
And the reality, if you look at the coaches he's hired, the head coaches, the only coach that he's hired that was a winning coach that could make winning decisions was Bill Parcells, and he did not allow Bill Parcells to do that.
Yeah.
So, post Bill Parcells, Wade Phillips, Jason Garrett, and now Mike McCarthy. These are all people that you can control, that he can control, and he can tell them, oh no, we're going to do it this way. He's really the coach of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy is just the face. So the only bright spot, I don't want to harp on the negative too much because the only bright spot to me was the defense. The defense looked really good against
Yes.
I was proud of that.
But moving forward, right? Where do you see this team? Like, do we? I'll say this. I'll ask you this. Do we harp more on the offense or the defense? Because I feel like the defense can lead this team.
I think it's going to be two things that's going to sustain us while Dak is not around. The running game
Okay.
and the defense.
Okay.
If those two things are not intact, if one of them slip, we're going to be in a big mess. Like, honestly, it's going to be an absolute mess.
But, so on average, where do you think Zeke Elliott gets his carries on average? Because I'm thinking maybe 20 carries a game will be more sufficient right now.
Considering 20 is realistic.
Okay.
Because if we're going to be honest, Zeke is not a 30 carry a game back anymore.
That's true.
Once he starts getting to that 30, you're going to start to see the difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so how it's going to have to work is you're going to have to allow Cooper Rush to get Zeke and these running backs open in space and throw little screen passes and swings and all that kind of stuff. You got to get them in those type of positions. It's not going to be straight running, but our running backs are going to have to be the face of this offense.
Right. But that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. So, and another thing to that point is they got to open up the playbook for him. You can't be selective of what Cooper Rush can or cannot do. Like screen passes is good, but we want. I would want the deep ball. I would like the play action, whereas Zeke gets like 5 or 6 a game on that 2nd and 4. We fool the defense by going play action. So I would like to see him. I'd like to see them open the offense for Cooper a lot more than Dak.
Yeah. Do you remember what our offense looked like with DeMarco Murray in the backfield?
Yes.
That year? When he led the league in rushing and all of that?
Oh, man.
That's what we have to duplicate.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
Because we only had one receiver then. Yeah. We only had
Dez Bryant. Yeah, Dez.
And we had Jason Witten.
And then you had Terrence. Terrence was like, he was like, there's games where he was your number 2, but sometimes he could be like a number 3.
Yeah.
So that type of offense is what we need. But other than that, I do agree with you. 30 carries is a lot. I do see 20. I would like to see them mix it up a little bit with a little bit of play action. I don't necessarily wanted them to throw the ball on 1st and 10. I would like to see Zeke get a running groove going, and then once he gets that going, you don't have to throw the pass on that 1st and 10.
I'm gonna tell you, bro, if Zeke is averaging 5 yards a carry, you can run on 1st and 2nd down.
You could.
You could. At the very least, you're getting the 3rd and short.
Right. You're right. And I noticed on that 3rd and short, I think I noticed this last year that when they did the 3rd and short, they were putting Pollard in. So basically, if they wanted to run the ball with Pollard, then they can do that. But other than that, Pollard's not no run blocker. I think they used him more of a run block than a give us 1 yard.
And I think we need to get back to a more traditional style of offense. More under the center, especially with Cooper Rush. Because honestly, the shotgun running plays and all that stuff, all of the jet sweeps and all that stuff that they be doing is so goofy to me.
It is.
I hate it. I hate all of the little goofy little option plays that they did. Like, why are you doing that in the early part of the game? Like, what tone are you trying to set?
Just trying to trick the defense.
But you haven't even tapped into your actual game plan before you start doing all this tricky shit.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, it irritates me because I'm like, that doesn't make logical sense.
Right.
I think we need to get back to a more traditional style, under the center, let Zeke get a running start, hand him the ball, boom, you got it.
Right.
At the very least, you tossing him the ball from the eye.
Right.
Just get back
not
to
from the eye, but hand it off in the eye. Hand it off in the eye. Like when they go in those formations, hand it off in the eye. Like tossing it would be like if we have you gotta know the defense, right? There's quicker pass rushers out there, like guys coming off the edge. Like if you put 8 in the box, maybe you could do an inside handoff, stuff like that. Only do the toss sweep if they're playing the pass. Like I felt like Tampa played the pass the first 3 quarters.
They did.
I think we could have,
which was very interesting.
Yeah.
I was wondering why they were playing that style of defense early in the game because I'm like, we don't have receivers. So we have one receiver. Dak is already like, after the first and second drive, I was like, Dak is not throwing the ball well. I can see that.
He's not. He wasn't even pressured, and he wasn't. Exactly. And there was one throw. There's one when he rolled out to his right. He had a receiver open for the first down, and he completely missed him.
You throwing the ball in blanket coverage. There's 4 defenders around CeeDee Lamb.
Right.
I saw that. I think it was the second or third drive of the game. He throws it in the middle of blanket coverage.
Yeah.
There's like 6 people around CD in a zone, and you decide to try to fit it into a window.
Yeah, they're playing zone coverage.
Yeah, you're trying to fit it into this window that doesn't exist.
Right.
So sometimes, like, Dak is one of those quarterbacks that really makes me wonder, like, what are you thinking? Like, he has those moments, and then he has amazing moments, but it's never just like, oh, okay, I can kind of see what you were thinking. It's just you overthrew him. No, it was just like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's never.
I know what you're saying.
There's no middle ground with it. It's either really bad or really good.
I mean, you know, and I'm a big Dak fan. We've been protecting this guy for a long time, and I feel like at some point, there's fans out there that will say we need a new quarterback. Right? They even said it after the 49ers game. First of all, we don't need a new quarterback. We've got our quarterback. It's just our quarterback. He needs to get some game in. He needs to get some preparation in. He didn't play. I think the reason why he was so off is because he didn't play in the preseason. I think, and that was the coach's fault. He could have got at least maybe about half, and then get himself going. And then he wouldn't be so off.
And I also think they're so concerned about injury with him at this point. Like, it's getting to that point where they're treating him like he's fragile. And I don't personally think Dak is fragile.
No, he's not. He's not. It's just, I think about players who've been hurt a lot. I think about Anthony Davis, right? He spends more time in the training room than on the court.
Yeah.
Okay.
Street clothes.
Exactly. I think about those guys. I'm not comparing him to Anthony, but I think about those guys. I'm like, okay, you can be all in the training room, but at the same time, you got to change your habits. Like, I think Stephen A. said this. I think you have to change what you're eating. You got to change what you're putting. Basically, what you're putting in your body. Yeah. So that you can not be so fragile. You can have stamina to play all the games. And I think Dak has that, but it's unfortunate that he's in those positions of getting hurt.
And I think a part of this too, if you think about every time he's been hurt, we've had a kind of a patchwork offensive line for the last 3 years.
Yes.
With Tyron Smith getting older, Travis Frederick situation not going the way that we wanted it to, even Looney, all of these offensive linemen that we've had over the last 3 years, it's been very just pieced together. Yeah. And it hasn't been totally solid. He hasn't had a solid offensive line in a while. Okay. And so, even when, I think going back to when he broke his ankle against the Giants, he was rolling out of the pocket trying to get away from pressure. Right. About to attempting to run for a first down.
He can't be comfortable in the pocket. And sometimes I feel like Dak rushes back. Like we're going to be fine. Okay. I think he's listening to the Cowboys tune of saying, hey, we need you in this game. We need you after this game. And I felt like when he injures his leg against the Giants, they kind of rushed him back a little bit to come back to save the season. I mean, Cooper rushed it well. I feel like he could have got one more start. I can't remember the next opponent, but maybe one more start will give Dak a amount of rest he needs.
Yeah, and even when he got hurt the first time, Andy Dalton played well. Yeah, Andy Dalton kept us in the mix.
Exactly.
So it's just, I think that, like you said earlier, the Cowboys have this thing where when it's a quarterback, they're always so eager to get them back, which I understand because that's a $multi-$100 million plus man. But at the same time, like, if you want longevity with your quarterbacks, you got to protect them, and that's even post-injury. You have to protect.
That's true.
So
you gotta read. That's true. And this team does not do a good job of protecting their quarterbacks, or basically protecting their players. Like Tyron Smith, like the hamstring came out with his bone, whatever. To me, that's out of the season. Like, and Jerry say, well, he can come back in December. I'm like, well, Jerry, like the season will be over by then, first of all. And then Tyler Smith didn't do that bad.
And Tyron Smith is he's pushing an older age now.
Exactly.
And so,
like, we just got a 40-year-old offensive lineman that could play possibly week 3, week 4, bearing an offensive line injury or inconsistent play, which Tyler Smith did not have. He had a decent game.
Honestly, I think he played well.
Yeah.
And I was very specific about watching him, just because obviously he's a new offensive line. Like,
of course.
You kind of want, especially at left tackle, like that's a critical
position. And they line up their best pass rushers to get to that side.
Exactly.
And so no, he didn't have a bad game. And I think they need to keep rolling with him as far as that goes. But moving forward, if we're in that 3-point range, because I see teams like Buffalo 31, I see teams like Minnesota 23 points, I see teams like the Commanders 28, even though they have suspect quarterback situation. I see the Giants 21, Eagles 38. So I mean, obviously those guys have decent offensive coordinators. So with that being said, if we're scoring 3 points, Cooper Rush is your quarterback. Where does Kellen Moore? Does Kellen Moore need to give up the play calling, or does Mike McCartney need to take control?
I don't think I'm comfortable with that either.
Okay.
I think at that point we kind of have to just really assess where we are in the season and just kind of play with the understanding that we're not going anywhere.
That's pure honesty. That's pure honesty. I notice I did not say that, but
if Michael McCarthy is our play caller, a mess is going to happen.
Okay.
If Kellen Moore is our play caller, he's going to start trying to do a bunch of tricky shit like he did the other night.
Right.
I don't like either one of those options. So at the end of the day, we're just going to start preparing for next year.
We don't have anybody.
Because we don't have anybody.
We don't have anybody else on offense. We don't have there's very few position coaches out there like that. We don't have. Well, they're never going to take an offensive coordinator position in Dallas because everybody's thinking about a head coaching opportunity. Like Kellen Moore, he's still in his 30s. He's thinking about a head coaching opportunity.
Yeah. And rightfully so. I think he could get a job.
He could get a job, but in college, I don't think the NFL will work out for him because of. I look at teams now. I look at teams. They're banking on more younger quarterbacks, and I think they need, like for example, Jacksonville. Jacksonville got Doug. I think it's Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson is a quarterbacks coach, and he can groom Lawrence to become that elite quarterback, maybe better than Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
But teams are going more of a younger to like a veteran quarterback. And would I want Kellen Moore to be my head coach? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either because
he's got some things to improve on. He's got to be that leader, and I don't see Mike McCartney being a leader. Like a leader to me, as coaching wise, is you have to display accountability. You have to not let things pass you by. Like that's what, like, you tell your owner, hey, don't interview these guys. Don't interview the owner. Interview me instead. Because you got to understand, what's the point of having a head coaching press conference every other day versus you have a GM that's on a radio show twice a week.
Yeah.
Like I can go on and listen to another team's radio station, right? And you can hear the head coach. They'll have a head coaching show, right? And no other owner or GM will be on it, unless they'll be on it to talk business, or they're trying to sell the team, like the Angels are. So there's a lot of inconsistencies in this organization as a whole, on the field and the offense.
And I think it's a culture thing too. I think we've cultivated a culture that's comfortable with mediocrity because it's so valuable. So truthfully, the Cowboys are spoiled. If we're gonna be like, I live in Frisco. I drive past their facility every day. So I see how they are incredibly privileged and spoiled. And so I think that we've gotten to the point where, they're America's team and all of this stuff, but at the root of it, at the core, they're not winners. And that's just the reality. Like, it don't matter we've seen this over the last 20 years. Tell me what coach you could plug and play, and we still got the same results.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter what coach. I mean, you can, like you talked about Bill Parcells. I mean, Bill Parcells wasn't able to do anything. Well, he could have done things if Jerry wasn't in the way.
Bill Parcells said it best. He said, "If you want me to cook the dinner, you got to let me shop for the groceries." One of the greatest statements I've ever heard. Because you can't control me and allow me to. And then claim that I'm the head coach and not give me the ability to do that.
Exactly, and that's like I said, that's where Mark McCartney needs to say, hey, I'm the coach of the team. You hired me to become the coach, and I'm going to coach this team. Like Jason Garrett, the reason why Jason did not work out, and that's why he's on TV now, is because he wasn't able to take control. You had 10 years, like everybody in the NFL doesn't get 10 years, at minimum 4. But he had 10 years to fix his team. He did not. Like I'm talking about consistent playoffs. Like for me, I'm not thinking about Super Bowl anymore. I'm thinking about consistent playoff
Can
bursts.
we just win? Can we get a divisional playoff round win?
I mean,
I don't even. I just want to get to the NFC Championship game. I don't even need us to win.
Right. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I just don't know. Like when you get to that spot, I don't know what the preparation is. Like what is what is your preparation? Is your preparation going to be, okay, we're going to rest these players here at the end of the season? Or, what is it? Or are we going to, it all depends what you do during that week.
And I'm going to be real, man. I think that last year was our window.
Yeah.
Last year was the year that was supposed to take that next step to becoming that NFC Championship team. At least, like, I ain't gonna lie, I think the team that we had last year had the potential to beat the Rams in the Super Bowl. If we beat San Francisco and we handle it how we were supposed to, and Dak plays well in the first half, if we get the second half that we got from Dak in the first half, it's a very different game.
Right. You scored 7. This team averaged 31. I was very surprised. I was like, okay, and I went back to watch that game. I was very surprised because we averaged 31 points a game in the regular season, and now we scored 17. I mean, San Francisco, to their credit, they were coming in on a streak. I think they were like 6 out of the last 8 they won, something like that. So. And I was just thinking, on offense, hey, we're quick striking. Hey, every time we get it, we're going to score. Not the case. And I look at, and like you said, and I look at the personnel. I look at CeeDee Lamb. I thought honestly, he's going to be that dude. He's not going to be close to that dude, and we're going to pay him next year. Michael Gallup. We paid Michael Gallup, but Michael Gallup, he's not going to be ready. And then Jalen Torber, I was looking forward to see what he can do.
Yeah, I was disappointed in that too. I think that Tober, I saw a lot of great things from him.
Yes.
And so I think that he has the potential to be very, very good. Like, and I was kind of disappointed we didn't get to see him because there was plenty of room for him.
Exactly.
Like,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
We had what's the name? Uchiwali? What's it?
We had so the receivers were Dennis Houston. We had he was an undrafted free agent.
Yeah, I remember him.
We had Simi Fioka. Fioka, he was playing special teams. He still plays special teams, but he filled the spot.
Yeah.
We got a tight end. I mean, tight ends, he's good enough, but he's just a tight end.
We didn't even use Turpin.
We used Turpin on special teams, but he's not.
I can see him being like kind of like a slot type of receiver that can play that can maybe run some of those little jet sweeps that they love to do. Right.
I mean, he's got to be part. Well, he's at some point during the season he's got to be part of the offense. If things are not going right. I mean, we got a decent core, but it's not like a number one target. Everybody has their number one, even the bad teams, right? Yeah. Like, for example, Jacksonville has Marvin Jones as their top receiver. You can go to Detroit. Detroit has the tight end. He's I can't remember his name. Hutchinson. Yeah, no, not Hutchinson. The tight end.
Oh, Hutchinson is on defense.
The tight end. What's his name? I can't remember his name. But number one, you got to have a number one that you can go to in those games when you under those 2-minute warnings in every half, and we don't have that.
And it's very, very weird to me because even the routes, I was watching like a lot of the routes that they had CD running on pass plays and stuff. And I'm like, these are not number one receiver routes. Like, you still have him crossing the middle of the field.
Right.
Like, you still have him playing a number 2 receiver. But you're just calling him a number 1 because he's the best receiver that we have.
It's what we can produce out there for now. I mean, there's other, like I said, Odell's out there. Odell's, he's, you're not going to bring him in on a short week. Teams will say, hey, our defensive back got hurt on Monday or Sunday or Monday. We're going to bring our line of guys like the kicker story. We're going to bring our line of guys the next day. So, hey guys, we're making a call tonight. Come in. I'll pay for your flight. Come in. We're going to. You guys got to perform this, and they'll give it their best shot. And we sign them on the spot, so that they get game ready, and by the time Sunday hits, they're ready.
I would love to know why Odell Beckham is not being considered. Because to me, there's no reason in the world. It's too much talent. It's too much ability. I don't know. He's already been a number 1 receiver.
Right.
He has experience. Like, he checks every box of the things that we need. I don't understand how that's not somebody that crosses your mind.
And they said this in ESPN said, somebody said this on ESPN in the offseason that you need to go get Odell now. I think they said it after the first preseason game. And, and like I said, this team is not proactive in signing free agents until the last, like Jason Peters. I heard we signed Jason Peters the previous Sunday, and I went to the UNT game versus SMU. I heard a couple of guys behind me talk about his workout. The next day we signed him. Actually, 2 days later we signed him because of public pressure. You see, you can't. Fans like us and other people out there, we're always going to agree and disagree with the decisions this team makes, right? It's up to them to say, you know what, we got all these good pieces out there. There should be no way they should be sitting on the sidelines. Before you know it, if a team has lost their receiver or their defensive back, the first call they're going to make is to those good players because they know they have game experience.
What's going to happen is Odell going to end up going to Green Bay or something, and then now all the Cowboys are going to be sick. They're gonna be sick that they didn't take advantage. Same thing
Exactly.
happened with Von Miller.
Right.
Exactly the same thing that happened with Von Miller.
And Von Miller signed a great contract to be in Buffalo after winning a championship.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, I don't know where he lives. He lives here.
Yeah, he's from DeSoto.
Yeah. You can sign him. He said he wants to play for the Cowboys. Sign the guy. I mean, Michael doesn't even play linebacker anymore.
He plays whatever they need him to play.
Exactly.
Micah is a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
So they use him whether it's as a linebacker, whether it's an outside linebacker, whether it's
even a
defensive back.
Right.
Like he's literally a Swiss Army knife.
Exactly.
I pray that they don't run him ragged because end up getting him hurt or something. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
I pray that
you know what's ended up going to happen. He's going to put up a bunch of stats, and the Cowboys aren't going to pay him. That's what's going to happen. I mean, I'm going to do all this work, and I'm going to get this raise. Yep, and they're gonna, and he's going to end up winning a championship. Yep. You saw what happened with Lawrence. Everything, and with Dak too. Everything's got to be the last minute with this team by public pressure.
And the funny thing about it, we're the highest valued franchise in all of sports.
We don't even have a salary cap. Forget the salary cap. We don't need. Look, we can sign every good player out there, and we hope to win a championship. But if you're number one in every sport, I'm sorry, in every category, and everybody from here to New York to heck, even high as Montana and other countries out following you, like, dude, you got to produce a better product.
Yeah.
And another thing about business of Jerry is season tickets. You know, and I talked about this, and then I talked about this last week was the UNT. I don't purchase season tickets because I know this team is not going to make decent and make good enough decisions for me to produce a great football team. Same with UNT. Like, you invest so much in the program. Like, now they have an indoor football facility, but yet they don't win every year. Like, you talk about in Texas, right? So you always talk about the Longhorns. It used to be TCU and SMU. Well, actually, SMU is coming up. But North Texas, like, you invest so much money, but yet we got to win. Same as the Cowboys. You got to win. Like, if you get, for me, my wise, I don't know for you, for me, you have to get to an NFC Championship game. Or if you have consecutive playoff berths, then I'll consider purchasing those tickets because I know where this team's going to go.
I'm gonna tell you, bro. I ain't never purchased season tickets to the Cowboys.
I never did either.
There'll never be a time where I'll do that. One, because the tickets is high as hell.
That's true. That's true.
These are $2,500.
25. I don't know.
It might be more than that.
But I know for sure if you purchase a season ticket, just one ticket alone.
Yeah.
It's like try going to a college game. One ticket alone could be like $20 to $30, depending on where you sit. Yeah. One ticket alone, if you're in that standing room, is like $100.
Yeah.
But if you want to just go to a game, doesn't matter where you sit, it's like $200. It's like concerts in that stadium, right? Concerts were charged. The inexpensive one would be free ones, and they can place you wherever you want. But if you purchase them, it's like $40. It can go as high as like $1,000. And so, but you're going to get your money's worth because the artist is going to perform.
Yeah. I just think, to me, the Cowboys aren't worth it. Like, regardless of the money where you put me, they're not worth it. At the end, I've seen too much over the last almost 20 years. Like, I've seen enough. It's in the DNA of this team. Like, losing is in the DNA. Just to call us spade a spade, you know.
That's true.
It's in them. Like, they can't shake it. So, to me, I don't. Even if they make an NFC Championship game, great. The following year, they'll be out of the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? That's just the routine.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just saying. But you got to, but you got to build.
yeah.
Like when you get there, you got to build.
Mm-hmm.
Other teams have built are building.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams, for example. Even though they lost Von Miller, they still replaced his spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they can do some things in that NFC West division. As far as the Cowboys goes, I think you're right. This team is always going to be a losing franchise, and I hate to say that because, my times there, when I was a child, I never got to watch any of the Super Bowls. I mean, now when we got older, they'll always replay them, but I never got to see a championship. We never had a parade. Like, I want to experience that.
I would love to experience that too. And I mean, even this is a football city.
Yes.
Dallas is a football city. I don't care what nobody says.
Right.
Like, the Mavericks won, it was great. I remember that parade, but it was basketball. It's not.
It was bad. It wasn't.
It's different. Like, when they win, it's a different feeling in the city. Like, I lived in St. Louis, greatest show on turf era, so I know what that felt like when the Rams won.
Right.
I know what it felt like when the Rams were good, like consistently good.
Right.
So it was just, I don't know, like it's kind of sad, but it's the reality. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. But what is the difference before we leave? What is the difference between now and the Rams? What do they do differently?
So what do you mean? What do they do differently?
Okay. When they were winning all those championships, I think they won a couple.
One and lost because of Spygate.
But I guess my question would be, in order for us to get there, what did they do? Like,
they were solid across the board. From an owner who was minding his business, who really didn't even want to be in St. Louis, as you can clearly see today. He never really wanted to be in St. Louis, so he was really minding his business. He allowed his personnel and his GMs to do what they did. They had a Kurt Warner, they had a Marshall Faulk, they had Torrey Holt, they had Isaac Bruce, they had Orlando Pace on the offensive line. Defense solid.
And Gabe Williams.
Yeah.
So you had a solid player. So they were invested in that culture. They saw the vision and they were able to experience it. I think right now, I just don't see this team. I don't see this team experiencing any of that culture.
And the thing about it, like, it's hard to experience a culture that this generation doesn't know anything about. To be real, like, the Cowboys are all about glitz and glamour, and it's very, like, sparkly and shiny.
Right. The owner is.
Yeah. Everything from the stadium to the practice facility to just all of this, the owner, you kind of see, like, it's just really about the shine. But sometimes I want a gritty team. I prefer, and that was the thing, in the culture of St. Louis, the city itself, it's a gritty Midwest city. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not Dallas. Dallas is very polished, and I think a Highland Park and Bentleys and Rolls Royces. There's a lot of money here. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I just think that in the DNA of the city, of the team, the culture, it's very more so about the look than it is about the real. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. I mean, you're right. I mean, and other schools, and I always think about this. Other schools, high school, college, concerts, they take advantage of the enemies here that we have, because Jerry creates that. And I agree with you. And, you know, I do want to see, you know, I do want to see a selfish team. I do want to see that because I feel like these guys are more deserving to win now than win down the line, because I feel like this team's going to fall apart. There's players that are going to be, you know, either retiring or going to another team to fight for another championship. I do, but then again, it's like they want to say Cowboys because of the culture of who wore, like, for example, number 88 is always going to be a special number. Drew Pearson started. He passed it on to Irving. Irving got it. Dez got it. CD got it now. And I feel like CD's never going to live up to the 88 culture.
And Dez didn't really either.
No, he did not.
He had moments.
He had moments, but he wasn't able to be consistent with those moments. And so, you know, moving forward, we just got to see what happens game by game, and we'll see what changes. But
Yeah, man.
I appreciate your insight, bro.
Absolutely, man. Anytime.
Yes, but that's it for the show, guys. We did have an extended Cowboys talk. I was going to talk about college football, but I'm going to save that later. Okay, but that was our extended Cowboys talk. Hey, it was great. But please like and comment, subscribe. We're going to talk about the next game next week. So next week they're playing Cincinnati. It's still here, and Joe Burrow's coming to town, and I would like to see what he's made of. And also I'd like to see what the Cowboys are made of too. Like, do we not cry over Dak's injury? Do we just, you know, say, hey, you know what? Cooper Rush is our quarterback. We're going to give him every opportunity to shine. Those questions that we have to answer. That's going to be next week on Fishbowl Radio, guys. Take care. See you next week.